My view is an immorality. It is, again, a waste of money.
We're going to build a beautiful, big, strong wall that's not going to let criminals and traffickers and drug dealers and drugs into our country.
We will meet lies and hate with the truth and a vision for the future from the U.S.-Mexico border.
If the drugs don't stop, we're going to put tariffs on. I don't play games.
All right, unvetted migrants, not the only problem at our southern border right now. President Trump warning about the shocking amount of drugs that are seized by border agents every single day.
Here with a reality check of what our Border Patrol deals with every day is former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi. Pam, thank you for joining us this morning. We know that
Good morning.
You know all about these numbers, these threats, these statistics. So give it to us straight. What is the threat that we're dealing with?
Well, the threat, and you've been seeing this, you saw the back of that car hollowed out. What they're bringing into our country, fentanyl, all kinds of drugs, but fentanyl is probably the most lethal. Just 7 grains of fentanyl. If you imagine 7 grains of salt, that can kill you. And here it looks like we have 63 pounds of this stuff. That could literally, it could honestly kill millions of people. I sat down with DEA and we talked about it, and it's so incredibly lethal to our country. I mean, it could wipe out millions of Americans. And that's why it's so important to protect our borders. You know, I sat on the President's Opioid Commission, and Secretary Carroll has been doing a great job with a year follow-up and how they've cracked down on all these horrible drugs coming into our country, and and they're killing our kids.
Yeah, I mean, this does seem to be the one bipartisan thing that comes out of this whole mess with the border, is that I think everybody wants the ports of entry to be stronger, and the allocation of money that they want to go to the ports of entry. Where they disagree is on the wall. And in this certain instance, this amount of drugs was found at a port of entry. The Democrats say most of it comes through the ports, and the wall wouldn't help that.
Well, no, it comes through the through where the wall would come. I've seen it firsthand when I was a prosecutor. A car carrier hollowed out with just pounds and pounds of drugs in it. So no, it's coming in from everywhere, but it is coming in mass amounts through our borders. But our great men and women in Border Patrol are stopping a lot of it. Thank goodness, and thanks to President Trump.
Pam, what other types of drugs, what other things do you think we could see in the future as a realistic threat?
Well, the fentanyl is mainly manufactured in China. What they do, because it's so easy, they get it into Mexico, and then they send it across the Mexican border. Cocaine, of course, your traditional Mexican drug, and they're also mixing it with heroin, and that's so very frightening, because these kids are getting it, and now they're taking it in a pill form. And what's so frightening is you don't know what the heck you're taking when you take a pill. And again, just a few grains of fentanyl mixed with cocaine or mixed with heroin or even laced into a marijuana cigarette can kill you.
Yeah.
It's lethal. It's lethal.
We got one more thing to talk about here. The Ninth Circuit rules that for the time being, asylum seekers can be sent back to Mexico as they await this long process of whether or not they're going to get into the country, which can be like 700 days long. How does this change the problem at the border?
Well, I think it greatly helps it for our country. And this ruling came out of the Ninth Circuit, which is typically a more liberal court, but they even understood. They could not show that people were suffering harm being back in Mexico, which is where they came from and which is where they need to stay until they enter our country in a legal manner. That's what we've always said it's about. We all of us, all of us, believe in legal immigration, but it has to be done in the right way. And we've been seeing this measles outbreak in our country. We've been seeing all these things. These people have to have health tests. We have to know that if they're going to be infiltrated into our school systems, they have to be healthy. Now, that does not apply to children traveling alone. They're going to be taken care of. But everyone else, you're trying to come into our country, you have to wait in Mexico and come in a legal way. And that's very important.
Okay. Pam Bondi, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We're coming right back.